Good evening, everyone. This is the February 27, 2019 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being recorded for further viewing at the town website, which is auburnguide.com. Before I begin tonight's meeting, I'm required to ask if anyone in the audience is making a recording of this meeting. With a lot of shaking heads, the answer apparently is no. So the first item on tonight's agenda is a 7 o'clock public hearing. Walter Koza, notice of intent for the construction of a single-family dwelling on property located on Stone Street in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote. Mr. Grabowski, good evening.
Good evening, Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Garland.
Before we start, I just want to say that the A&R plan was submitted to the planning board and they signed it, so.
But it has not been recorded.
No, because he hasn't got the Mylar yet. It
Okay.
was just signed last night.
All right.
It's agreed upon.
Well, I understand that, but what I was curious about, I actually went to the Registry of Deeds website, and this is registered land, which makes it a little bit unusual, but nothing has been recorded yet, as you just confirmed. So I guess the question would be, Mr. Grabowski, do we know when Mr. Koza might record his plan?
That's a different process because it's recorded land,
It's registered land.
registered land.
Right.
It's a different process.
I understand, sir.
Yeah. I was talking to the engineers today about it, and as soon as we get it back, they'll start processing it.
All right. Okay.
I didn't want to give up the Mylar because I couldn't find any copies that were signed, so I thought I would just hold on to the Mylar until Adam's in tomorrow. He wasn't here today.
Right. Okay. So anyway, a number of us have been to the property. The wetland area and the channel is well defined. So do you have anything further to add?
No, sir. We just directed the engineers to ensure that as soon as they could get out of the away from the proposed lot that had been has the house on it, 20,000 plus square feet, that they veered away from the wetland and tucked the house behind the existing house further back than it had been before.
Okay, so this is a new plan?
This is the new plan.
right.
You have the new plan with the new owners on it.
I think. I hope I do. Wait a minute. I have gotten so many plans and new plans, old plans. This one is
795.
For the record, what's the date?
You got it.
Have you got it?
I think you're looking at the wrong file. That's the wrong file.
All right, this is a loose one. Have you got it?
I'm sorry, what's the date on the new plan? Should be in the corner.
No, that's another one. That's not the right plan. All right.
February 11th, 19.
Okay, thank you.
Received on the 14th.
Okay.
This one, I'm getting confused with the two of them. All right. Is that one?
All right, are there any questions from the commission? Are there any questions from the audience? All right, there being none, is there a motion to close?
I make a motion we close the public hearing.
Okay, is there a second?
Second that too.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, as soon as we get the recorded plan, we'll submit it for your files, so you'll have it.
Yes.
Stamped. And I believe we're set with that.
Is this the one?
Yeah, Walter
That's
Koza.
in the-
That's where
okay,
it
but
changed,
this is
because when they
February
came out, if I could say, when they came out with the new plan, the latest with the revision with 20,000, the engineers still left the federal people on that plan, Federal National Mortgage. They immediately, within a couple of days, realized there was an error and put Walter Koza, and those Walter Koza plans were delivered to Sheila. So
Yeah, I
that
got
Sheila now has them,
Okay.
and I believe,
Guys, I
and
don't
we
think I
s-
was here when you dropped them off.
right, revised by Glenn, correct, and there's the date, February 11th, 19. So no one ever received the corrected subdivision plan, correct square footage, with the federal name on it. All the commission received, or anyone else, was the Walter Koza on the
So this
February
is the final plan,
11th,
correct?
19.
This
Correct,
one?
that is the correct
All
plan,
right.
yes.
Okay. Very
Thank
good.
you for your time again.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Glenn. Good night.
Thank you.
Glenn will be back.
Allison, looks like you're gonna be the only one going to the thing. I really wanted to go because they're doing some stuff on the solar arrays. And they look like the workshops would be really interesting. Yeah.
All right, good. I registered for that one too.
So, you haven't registered, okay. So, was there specific ones that you wanted to try to get into?
I'm content with just kind of floating around and seeing what I can figure out. I don't know if I want to
Doing the annual
commit to the
conference.
courses
It's
this time.
unbelievable.
You don't want to commit, you just want to go?
Make it
Okay.
Want to float?
next,
Okay.
All right,
the Saturday
Okay.
coming up, actually.
You know,
This coming
You can walk
All
down,
right.
too.
yeah.
It's usually first
well,
week of
I'll
March, first
get in
weekend
touch
of
with
March.
them.
There are a couple, but I don't think it really matters. If I-
Yeah. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is make a PO and give it to you so you can take it with you. I'll email it, it's just a copy
No,
of
that's
one.
no one.
I'll email it to you.
I
You
think
can
he's
print
got
that
it.
out.
You
Just be able to print it on Friday, although I'm moving out.
The
Okay.
septic one's good.
Either that or I can drop it at your house.
Okay.
You want me to do that?
That might be better.
I didn't go to that one, no, but you guys show me pictures and...
So far away.
I know.
Squatters are in there.
Okay.
I mean, I should look at it again.
That's the one. Yeah, we went.
I just make sure.
Who's second that closing on that?
I did.
Okay.
I'm assuming you haven't had a chance to do the minutes for the last meeting?
Well, I was working on them and working on them. No,
That
I have
sounds
not
good.
finished them.
Okay.
Good, nobody got that.
No, no worries.
Yeah.
I knew she
I've
did,
got it-
because
I've
if she
got the
had, she
majority
would've
of them
emailed them
done.
out and said,
She
here they
would've
are,
sent
submitted
them.
respectfully for corrections.
Yeah.
Respectfully, and she would have said
Respectfully.
for your enjoyable reading, something
Yeah.
like that, absolutely.
Well, I have them almost done, but there were so many interruptions today that it didn't happen.
Well, I tried to put a nice,
I know, that's fine. Okay.
So what's next here?
okay.
Scrivener's at 7:10. Yes, sir.
Is there a minute or two to talk about a different project for
No.
710?
No, you can do it, no.
That's the one.
Well, we've only got 3 minutes, right?
Do we
Right.
want to do anything else now?
I don't think we have time.
Okay.
We can talk tomorrow, talk among ourselves.
We did conference of interest training.
I think actually, didn't Tony say he was not going to be available tonight? I think he did.
Yes.
I didn't know
And
that.
Michelle's
Today's
gone,
Michelle's
right?
birthday.
Michelle's,
Today.
yes.
Oh, yes,
birthday
that's right.
Yes, it's, you know,
Okay,
it's a weeks-long birthday celebration apparently.
yeah.
She must be going somewhere to party.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
It's all right. She takes our ribbing in good faith.
Yes, she does.
She takes her party in
Or
her
in
face.
good stead. I think she does anyway.
There's no choice.
I heard what you said about me. All right. It's fine.
Is that clock right, Mike?
Mostly.
Do we want to discuss Sword Street?
We can discuss Sword Street.
I had a chance to go by there today, I drove by.
Yeah.
The snow's mostly melted, but it's definitely being stockpiled right along, like those pictures showed.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's a little bit of an overreach for us. I don't think we're allowed to tell somebody they have to post it. You can't, but we can suggest it to the owner maybe.
Well, I think we'd have to look at the order of conditions we issued, you know, and so if it's, you know, threatening a wetland or a resource area, then I think we have the authority to...
Resource area.
I think I guarantee you that,
Surviving.
I was gonna say, I guarantee you, we said there's no storage of snow within 100 feet. I
Right.
mean, that's a
wanted to let
standard
you
on
know
our
that-
special order.
Yeah.
Like this.
33 is coming in for a notice of intent because they had to make some drainage changes, so they're looking for amendment to their order of conditions. So they'll be coming in at the next meeting.
Who is?
33 Sword Street, FW Webb.
Okay,
Come
yeah.
in.
All right,
Yeah.
They started
we
to work
can-
on the building.
then we can address it maybe at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, very good.
Or we amend them if we don't have something in there, we
Did
can
you
check
say
that
it had been
special.
30 years?
What?
Did you just say it was
No.
30 years since they built something?
No, you said they were coming in on the next meeting, the 13th, right?
But before that,
Or before that?
you said something.
Yeah,
Did
you said
I?
something.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, no.
When they, the last time they filed was a long time
Get
ago.
the audio.
Yeah?
got it.
I didn't think I even said.
All right.
Does Auburn have 61 year ones?
I think it does. All right, the next item on our agenda is the 7:10 public hearing, Scrivener Development, a notice of intent for construction to replace an existing failed septic system at 411 Leicester Street. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Aye.
It's a vote. Good evening. How you doing? Good, how are you?
Sure.
So this project, 411 Leicester Street, we've been in front of you a few times with this project.
Yes.
The last I spoke with the Board of Health,
Mhm.
they said to basically rotate. The field used to be more like this,
Mhm.
so we, this corner pretty much stayed the same, but we were able to rotate it up about 15 feet in this area here, and we moved the tanks from here up to here. They have approved this plan, the Board of Health has. So we're now, this corner of the system is 48 feet to the edge of the river, and up here it's about 60 feet in this area here.
And you're 100 feet from the well?
100 feet still from both wells.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing.
All right.
So that's,
I had a discussion with Bill Coyle a few weeks ago. We actually discussed what could be done to, I guess, fit a septic system in there without the need to go to a tight tank, which we thought, or I'm sure he thought, would pose different problems.
yeah.
So he advised me that he thought configuring the septic system in the way that is shown on this plan would be the way to fit a septic system on this particular property. In terms of, if you could just describe for the board, what steps will be taken to ensure that that nothing from the septic system will migrate to Chapin Brook?
You mean once it's installed and
Yeah.
completed?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it meets breakout requirements.
Uh-huh.
We have a poly barrier along the whole, this edge along here, and also along this whole edge here. It's a 40 mil plastic liner that goes 5 feet into the ground, and it stays, the top of it stays at the breakout elevation.
All right.
And we do have a riprap armored slope, for any erosion that was able to keep the grading, further away from the river as well.
Okay, so I haven't seen, when did you submit this plan to the commission? Because I haven't seen it.
No, Bill told me to get the Board of Health approved, which I just got a letter, I think like the end of last week.
Okay.
About. I do have copies here.
All right, yeah, I'd like to see them.
Yeah.
So is part of the system then going to be above ground? So you mentioned that there's riprap, and so it sounds like it's going to be or a portion of it's going to be above ground?
Yeah, it was always, finished grade's about 2 feet higher than
All right,
what's currently there.
okay.
So the system will be raised.
Good.
Yeah.
Is it from like a mounding analysis?
Just for seasonal high groundwater from when we did the test pits. Yeah, groundwater was, modeling was at 5 feet. And we came up 5 feet because of the material that was there. So basically the bottom of the system is like at existing grade now. And then it's built up there with, 6 inches of stone and then pipe and then, finished grading.
Are you going to do any additional filling around the system?
There'll be fill just around the perimeter of the system just to, create the slope off the
All right.
off the mound.
Any idea how many cubic yards we're talking about?
I didn't figure it out, but it's, compared to, all the ones we've done and seen, this isn't a lot. I'm guessing maybe 60, 80 yards maybe. But it'll be just, material that's on the site now will be used.
Understood.
Yeah,
Okay,
from digging out the bottom.
right. Okay. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the audience?
I do have a question. Is there like a hay bale or silt fence line shown
Yeah.
there?
Yep, we have erosion control basically starting here and wrapping around the system into the house. And the detail we show. Silt fence and wattles.
When would construction start?
I believe he is looking to do this as soon as weather allows, so probably within
A couple months.
a month or
Yeah.
month and a half or so.
Okay. All right, very good. All right, if there are no questions from the board or from the audience, is there a motion to close?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second that?
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed to vote? All right, thank you for coming in.
Thanks. I'm gonna fold
How
these
many
up.
have you got there?
I have 2.
Okay, that's good.
I'm gonna fold them, or?
I can do
That's
that.
it?
Yep, thanks.
I'll do B11 and C20.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Jay.
Thanks.
B11
What,
and
township?
C20,
Like, put it works, not the classes, but
the sessions, okay. All righty.
Just plain township.
No, the smart program one, and then the 6101.
All right, the next item on our agenda is the 720, I'm sorry, we have to wait 5 minutes, pardon me.
Okay.
Okay, so, We do have other matters on the agenda, though. There was a request for certificates of compliance for 22-24 and 26-28 Women Bailey Road. A number of us went out to the properties and carefully walked down the slope.
Slid down the
So we didn't fall, and had a chance to look at basically the erosion control measures. Of course, it was snow covered, but so we couldn't see where the replication area. We still could see where the replication area was. We couldn't see what was in it really, but it's understood that that has two growing seasons to take. I have no questions. I mean, based on what I saw, the work that was done complied with the plans that were submitted to the commission.
I just want to add that I went to 130 Prospect today because
Me too.
we didn't go there that Saturday.
Right.
And I just kind of looked around, I saw the silt fence back there, everything looked like...
Okay.
It looked fine to me too. I did see it, yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't have the opportunity to go there, but I
Okay.
will certainly take your word for it.
Yep.
So,
We both went.
any comments from the audience? It's a very quiet audience. All right. In that case, is there a motion?
Make a motion, we issue certificate of compliances for 22, 24, 26, and 28 Whitman Bailey Road, as well as 130 Prospect Street, respectively.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
I'm not sure if I'm familiar with it, I might abstain. If it's-
You can abstain, certainly.
All right, so just wanted to check this
7:20
out.
at the same time?
Well, we'll take them in order. Why don't we make it quick?
Oh, that's the Brook Street. I'm going to have to vote because I wasn't here today.
Oh, good. Yes, I didn't get to that. No, I just went
All right, we actually have a couple minutes. Mr. Stelmach, could you enlighten us about 23 Brook Street?
Yes.
Good.
Because we are in need of enlightenment.
I'm in need of some help too.
Okay.
So 23 Brook Street is a newly created A&R lot. I think it was created back in August of 18 from the current homeowner, and we're in contract to purchase it from the homeowner.
Okay.
As we were doing our due diligence on the lot, we came across an old expired order of conditions that references 23 Brook Street.
Okay. How much?
I think it was originally issued in 2010 or 2012.
Expired in 2017, December.
Okay,
It was
so
asked for an extension and then it expired. That was the
Right.
expiration
Okay.
date.
Expired in 17, okay.
was any work done there?
So the original order, from what we can find, has to do with Whitetail Run, the subdivision.
Right.
Right.
And that used 23 Brook Street. I don't know exactly what happened, but what we were told is that this newly created A&R lot, somehow land was swapped with the owner of Whitetail Run in order to create another lot down on the subdivision. And then the owner of 25 Brook Street obtained this piece of land that's now, they're calling 23 Brook Street.
Okay.
So this A&R lot really has nothing to do with the subdivision.
Uh-huh.
But we just don't want to encumber the new lot with anything that has to do with the order of conditions with Whitetail Run. And so we weren't really sure how to proceed about this. We talked to our attorney and then talked to Art Allen from Ecotech, and they both suggested that we file for a partial certificate of completion, basically just stating everything that I just explained and asking that new A&R lot to be removed from that existing order of conditions so we can go open a new order of conditions.
Wow.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's confusing.
It's interesting.
Yes.
Yes, I
But they got the certificate of
The order of conditions.
No, there's
No,
no,
it
there's no
expired.
certificate.
It
certificate.
just expired.
This is the newly created
order
one.
of
This is the
conditions
nuclear,
expired.
yes,
It was
exactly.
never
And this is
a-
Whitetail
Whitetail
Run.
properties right here?
Yep, and there was a
Bringing
lot,
in with
I
separate,
believe we saw one plan, there was a
separate ones, the
lot
ones
down
they
in
needed.
here, where
Okay.
this, I think this property used to continue down.
Continue there, okay, 'cause I
And-
drove down Whitetail today,
Yep.
and I stopped in front of this house,
Yeah.
and then unfortunately I got stuck on ice in the driveway up here, and it took me 25 minutes for someone to come by and help me out so I could pull up.
So
Okay.
what is it you're looking for? Which part of this?
We,
Because I
I
haven't
just
there
want
too.
their property
This-
separated from.
Separate from this.
My question is
He
the
owns this.
23 Brook
This
Street
used to be
that
part of
obtained the
this.
order of conditions
Oh,
back in
this used to-
2010, the same
Wow.
23 Brook
Whitetail
Street
Run
that
property.
that you're
at,
showing?
at that time, as far as we know,
Mike's in the term.
the new lot was part of the original subdivision. So to answer your question, I believe yes.
Okay,
And then since the Wino Whitetail, I believe, has changed hands over the years, and again, we don't know exactly when all of this happened. We just
Okay.
know that land was swapped somehow, and the owner of 25 Brook Street could now create this new lot.
so when
which-
you say land swap, that suggests to me that something should have been recorded at the registry of deeds. I mean, this should be, you should be able to follow a paper trail
Yep.
showing these transactions.
Yeah.
And so, I hear what you're saying about getting the partial release.
Mhm.
I'm thinking how we're gonna, word it, So, has your attorney perhaps offered any suggestions concerning language?
Yeah, it was pretty much what we wrote, to reference the new plan, reference the old order of conditions, and essentially asking that the land that's shown in the newly recorded A&R plan be
Okay,
released
there
from
you
that
go.
original order.
Okay, got it.
And then to have that, if that's acceptable with the board, to have that recorded at the registry of deeds.
Have you got this one, Michael?
I don't think so.
I thought I gave you the original with the big
That's with her
plan.
stuff that she
I have,
had.
as you can see, I have lots of plans.
Yeah.
It was
I
I
know.
know.
I could have sworn I typed in all your stuff here, so now I can't find any of it.
That's a tricky one.
It is. No.
It's a nice house at 130.
That came out nice.
There you go. Very nice.
That was originally going to be another road going in, another means into the development, wasn't it?
No,
We had
To
looked
begin-
at that
to
at
begin.
one point, yeah.
I think the first time we walked it,
Well,
that was
what
the
we
plan.
did is actually going towards Oxford, down Prospect Street, just after 130. That's
Mhm.
132.
Right.
That's actually the duplex that's down with Whitman Bailey.
Okay.
Because that's all wetlands right in there.
Right.
And we didn't want to disturb that. We actually, I believe, gave the town a
It's not that simple.
easement
Yep.
and deeded all of that, I think, to conservation.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I understand how we can do this,
Okay,
so, all right, well, thank you.
okay.
Thanks for your doing.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion that we issue a partial release of the
Order conditions?
order of conditions for 23 Brook Street, suggested in this letter here.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that too.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
I'll get that ready for you tomorrow, Justin.
Okay, sign.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're in a hurry, right? You're in a hurry for it, right?
Because we have to come back in for the new
Yeah, okay.
notice.
Is that the last one? That's the last one, 32 and 34, the last.
Sure, we
Two
want
that
to
you
pass
put in
those
there?
around, we'll
Yes.
sign them.
Yes,
That's
they're
all you
tucked up
can-
back behind
yeah.
that Murdoch,
So-
the 34 and 36.
And
22,
every one of those is a
24,
duplex. Every one of those is
26,
two,
28.
right?
Everyone in there's a
The
Prospect.
one that's being built is going to be two.
There's going to be three,
Yep.
four of them, partial release.
And the
Very
partial
nice.
release,
Thank you.
yeah.
All right.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
You're welcome.
Good night, Justin.
You too.
And we've got
All right.
time if we want to do it after.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We'll do it after. The next item on our agenda is 7:20 public hearing. Darrell Ravati, notice of intent for the addition of a garage and shed on property located at 86 Rochdale Street in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed to vote. Good evening.
Good evening.
So we had an opportunity to make a site walk of the property. Comments from the board?
It was interesting trying to find those pens until we finally found them, this gentleman's out. And the driveway is in a really bad way, the drainage there, and from what we were presented, what they intend to do, I think it's gonna be a major improvement to what's there now, because
It's tough now.
it's really tough.
Yeah, it's like a crater right in front of the garage.
Yeah.
Right, no, I understand that. How, So you're proposing, I think you described it as a gate for the stream.
Yeah, so he want on the opposite side of the stream, away from the existing structure, he wants to install like a 6-foot chain link fence.
Mhm.
And that would go from the 2 pins that we saw, the one by, you know, the intermittent stream, and the one that's kind of back by the pine trees there.
Right.
And then that would cut back along the back line, and we would stop it and leave like a 5 to 10 foot wide opening at the stream. And then he wanted to change it and put a 6-foot vinyl fence that would run up that little bit of a slope towards that existing yellow vinyl fence.
Right. Yep. And
And as far as the shrubs and everything in there, he's not planning on removing any of the shrubs or you know, vegetation that's there. We were
Okay.
just, you know, minor trimming to just install the fence.
The other side.
I mean, is it fair to say that the reason he's putting the fence in is to delineate his property?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's that is it. And
That seems to be the primary purpose, right?
yes.
Okay.
Is that all that's being proposed, is the fence?
No, so there was the fence along the property line there.
It's also,
He's proposing a shed. It's a 15 by 22 foot shed directly behind the existing pool. Now that shed's not going to have a foundation, but the ground would be leveled slightly, you know, just to install the shed. We proposed a silt fence around there just to make sure that nothing, you know, drained down towards the intermittent stream. And then the biggest part of the project is really the one addition. He wants to put a 1-story addition on the side of the house here, which is just slightly outside the 20-foot 5 buffer.
Outside.
Yes, it's outside. And then he wants to, you know, the driveway would be expanded mostly towards the property line by the stream, and we're raising the addition to help, you know, correct the negative drainage situation that's occurring at the garage, so we can have positive drainage back out towards the road.
is, when you construct the driveway, is it going to slope towards the intermittent stream?
No, we're gonna try to, you know, there'll probably be a break about midpoint in the driveway, where one side will pitch towards the stream, the other will pitch, you know, the stream side will pitch back towards the center to keep it away. The other thing we noted on here that we would, you know, install like a berm, like an asphalt berm along that intermittent stream edge, just to kind of prevent that runoff from kind of going that direction.
All right. Okay.
Are there catch basins on Rochdale Street? There must be, right? That's that.
There is, I think they're a little bit down. There's not a lot of drainage in the area,
So
aside from the natural drainage of the intermittent stream.
when you put in that berm, where's that water going to be going to?
It's going to be running back towards the roadway.
All right. Any other questions from the board?
Just, you had mentioned about moving this, is that
Yes,
gonna
so
happen?
there's a potential, because we haven't gone to zoning yet. Right now, what he's proposing is that there's, you know, technically we have like a 1-foot encroachment on the 10-foot side yard setback.
Okay. Yes.
If they don't allow that, and we have to slide the addition forward towards the street, which would be mostly parallel, we're not getting any closer, we're probably a parallel shift to the intermittent stream.
Sure.
If we slid that 6 feet, that would give us the exact, we would be at the 10. We wouldn't have to get the variance if they don't approve it. Is that a minor change, or do we need to come back and reapply?
Well, you're going to have to submit a new plan. And again, when are you going before zoning?
We haven't applied.
No, they haven't even
We haven't
applied
even
yet.
applied yet.
So this is the dilemma we have. I mean, I'm a little reluctant to close a public hearing where we know we're going to be getting a new plan. Even though I don't think the changes in the plan will probably alter the wetland impact significantly, there still may be some wetland impact. I mean, my suggestion would be that we continue the public hearing. I mean, you can't get started until you get zoning approval anyway, right?
Or he won't have to go to zoning if he moves it.
To a month.
Well, but I guess that's a decision you have to make with your client, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
It's
so,
just it's kind of dependent upon, you know, ideally we would like to have this approved.
right, but
You know, but if it's not approved, then we have to adjust it, you know, slide it forward.
right.
I just didn't know if that would constitute a minor change or if it was a reapplication.
I don't think it's necessarily a reapplication. I think that's why I'm suggesting maybe continue the public hearing. That way you don't have to file a new notice of intent,
And then you don't have to go to zoning board either.
Okay.
you know, so.
Oh, you won't, okay.
This will be my suggestion.
Yeah.
Well, your clients like this plan. This plan needs approval from zoning. You haven't gone to zoning yet. I mean, when is that decision going to be made?
We have to make it now.
Okay.
Yeah, I know he wants to get this, this hearing closed, and
Sure.
it seems like, I think mostly, it seems like we're in favor of it, but there's still a little bit of questions, so.
So that's the zoning would be what, at least 2 weeks, right?
Zoning?
Yeah, no.
3 months.
3 months. Why am I thinking that?
Time he applies,
Yeah,
Hearing?
that's right.
20-day appeal.
Sorry.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we continue the public hearing to our first meeting in March? Your clients can weigh the pros and cons of what they want to do, and then if they tell us that they're going to go with this plan, great. If not, then you can make a decision to go to zoning, and we'll see you in the spring.
Good.
Okay? Does that seem fair?
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Okay. All right.
So we'll continue it to March 13th.
13th,
Yes.
yep.
What time?
7:20?
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody want to make a motion?
Make a motion to continue the public hearing to March 13th at 7:20 p.m.
Is there a second?
Yes, I have the revised plan.
Hold on a second. Is there anyone from the audience that would like to be heard?
I
Yes,
just have a
please.
couple questions.
Sure, please stand up and tell us your name, please.
I'm Rocky, but about something else.
Okay.
I'm just curious, the fence, the chain link fence, that's the one that's
Yes.
coming across our backyard?
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't know what kind of fence that was being put
Is it
there.
a chain?
Yeah, we were proposing a chain link fence.
Okay.
Did
and
you
the
want to
other
see
one-
exactly where it's going? Could you see before?
I could kind of tell where it was.
Okay.
I don't know the difference between like the blue flags that are out there and the pink flags that are out there.
Yeah, so the blue flags are going to be what was delineated by Ecotech for the wetlands. And then the pink flags are probably the marks that I put for the property markers.
Okay.
When they enter.
And the silt fence that is being put, that's just temporary for when you're doing the work?
Yes, so that would be one thing, I spoke to Daryl, to do it right, we would have to install a little bit on your property, just because when we remove the driveway, the existing asphalt is already over the property line. So to correct that and to be in compliance, we would have to slightly install a silt fence on your property on Daryl's side of that stream, so we could remove it. And then we would not be repaving back over that property.
Okay, and then that fence gets removed once everything's
Yes,
done?
once it's completed and, they issue the compliance, it'll be taken down.
Okay.
Just to tell you what we do, after we issue an order of conditions and the work is done, the applicant, in order to clear the order conditions from the title of the property, come back to us and request for a certificate of compliance. That basically means that they've done the project in accordance with the plans that they submitted to the commission. So we go out there, we take a look, and then we make a decision. Okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does the color,
how much
does the
impact
color
does
factor
installing-
at all?
How much impact does installing this fence have,
Which of the chain link fence?
Yeah.
I would say it was very minimal. I've noted on there that any fence posts that are installed within the 25-foot buffer zone were to be hand dug, and that equipment should not be used.
Okay.
And so basically, we would displace about 18 inches of soil, probably about 8-inch diameter, and then just kind of rake it out and smooth out the existing grade.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Oh, we're gonna have to sign a request to continue. Yep. Even though you didn't request it.
That's, who was that?
Okay, oh, thank you.
She can look now. Plan. Oh, yeah.
Alright, you just want, I can just date it's today's date. That's the way to go. And he's got 23 months delay. He wants to go to zoning.
Yeah.
That's just not work. I mean, I don't know if he had
Well,
to
he's gonna
move it
have to
that
go
far.
anyways, I think. Well, not, I guess if we're not encroaching.
Yeah. Was he gonna make that into a apartment? Why would he have to go?
It's a garage and just a living space above.
Yeah. Yeah, well, now you've got one story on here too, I correct that. You've got a one story.
Well, technically it is one story because of the way the house is and the existing grade around it.
Oh, okay, I see what you
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, it's like
Keep
a
it over
drop
there.
off, you know what
Okay.
I mean?
Yeah,
So
Okay.
there was a motion and there was a second on the motion to continue.
okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you in March.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is 7:20 public hearing for Stephen and Pamela Jenkins, a request for determination for the installation of an above-ground pool at 7 Bridle Path in Auburn. Mr. Grabowski, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, thank you again, Commission.
Long time no see.
Yes, I appreciate your time, I do, thank you. We submitted just some additional language today relative to the bylaw, minor projects and minor activity. There was some question about how the bylaw read. I'm not sure if you had a chance, if the rest of the board received that language.
I did give it to everybody.
You did send it out. I appreciate it. Here's other copies. If I have 2 additional copies if the board doesn't have it. It has a portion of the bylaw and then that 2 paragraphs at the top if you don't. The in-ground pool, again, this is, it appears that it may be exempt because there is an allowance for exemption from the bylaw if you're dealing with minor projects under the bylaw in definition, fences, sheds, above-ground pools, decks, gazebos, and renovations which do not require excavation, probably renovations that might take foundations out. So we discussed that opposed to the minor activities, which are more invasive, in-ground pools, tennis courts, digging up things, in other words, driveways, additions. And we see that, and then we explained that in our backyard, which is part of the request for determination, we gave you a photo exhibit showing that the backyard is level. We staked out the pool, and there are no trees to be taken down. The original Cullinan plan, this is an as-built plan, a portion that we scaled it off. It is to scale, the house is to scale. It gives us our distances from the property boundaries back to the original Cullinan flags. I might say my flags, before I had this plan, are slightly further in the woods, but I'm not going to ask you to go and agree on my flags, which might be 5 or 7 feet further back. Just going by what Cullinan had, the original clearing back in 06, 07 went right to the wetland flag line, which is the existing tree line. All we're doing again is above the ground pool. We talked to inland pools and queues, and we first got incorrect information from them. I went down and personally talked to them instead of over the phone. And they tell me for these above the ground pools, they normally take out the root layer, so your grass and the roots that might be under that. If there was trees, then they'd have to go after the tree roots. But this has been a lawn since approximately 06, 07. The original plan was 06, would have been 3 of 06. So we're anticipating 4 to 5 inches of grass and topsoil to be removed. And then you backfill with sand in this 15-foot diameter pool. We're proposing to go to 17 feet, 1 foot outside the diameter on either end, so that becomes 17-foot diameter, which amounts to approximately 3.5 cubic yards of loomy material to be removed and then backfill with sand. You have a protection barrier. This is again an RDA that we filed. We do have room to come around the house, install the pool. It'll be Pools and Queues that puts it in from Auburn. And we believe it's minimally invasive, and again, the backyard, if you don't have that in front of you right now, this is what it, I don't know if you might pass it now. There's a shot from both ends, looking east, looking west.
The back of the application.
Yeah, I got
That's the last page.
Kind of, he scented it from his house, 17 feet off. He felt that that was comfortable for him. He has a little deck out there and 17 feet from the wetland. So yes, it is within 25 feet, but we might call above ground pools temporary. And again, no trees, no trout brook back there, no steep slope. The things that normally I would think that are going to trigger the bylaw to be enacted on a case-by-case basis, I outlined them in here. I mean, obviously, if we had a steep slope and there's the wetland, sure, or boulders to remove, or trout brook that you're going to cut trees down on and And we might say trout brooks, aren't they perennial? The Chapin Brook you just mentioned, at least up near the Auburn line, it's still called intermittent, it's a trout brook. So there's once in a while, we get about 5 or 6 of them that don't meet stream stat standard as far as .01 at the 99, but it's still trout brook. So I threw that in here because I'm working on those type of brooks, those headwater systems. So there you wouldn't want any trees taken down within 25, clearly you don't want it to heat up, and so that's why I threw in that. If there was some work, but here it's an existing lawn and it's just an on-level area and just putting the above-ground pool in. We'd stabilize the area I talk about in my project description. We'd do it when it's dry, come in, remove that topsoil, put the sand in, then the pool goes on top. It's quite temporary, or minimally invasive, I might call it.
Hopefully,
but that's your,
how big a pool is it going to be?
15 foot.
15.
Yeah, so it's not temporary, really. I'm sure
Well,
they don't
above-
think of it as temporary.
Well, above the ground, I mean, they don't, we've had it before. The kids grow up, they come down. They're a little bit less than in the ground, let me say
I
that.
have one myself.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, my feeling is, I didn't have a chance to go out to the property. I'd like to take a look,
Yes, sir.
as you know.
I had a chance to go out there today.
All right.
And I can tell you that this picture, other than there's a little bit of snow on the ground.
Right.
I did not walk around the back. I parked between this house and number 5. And basically, that's when I saw the tree line. We're very familiar with the property because this is the next house up to get a pool. The house, 2 houses down, they were in front of us last summer, the house next door. And a year or 2 ago, the house
Apparently
further
there's,
down. So
there's
everybody wants a pool.
pool envy on Bridle Path.
Pool, exactly.
Are they above the ground or in ground?
The
Some-
one 2 houses down was in ground.
One's in.
And they, long story short, yeah, they didn't file with us and they ended up filing with us. And
I see. Apparently, Mr. Daniels and his wife do know enough, or maybe heard from the name, file with the board. So, because this has been ongoing since
Yeah.
early last year, and then he just decided over the winter time to move
Yeah.
forward, and that's why we're here.
Understood. So I'd still like to take a look.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, sure. Thank you. We request the continuance then, and we called Sheila up and asked for that inspection time unless you felt you already had one that I could put in the book, but if not,
Oh, I've got
I'll
one.
find out from Sheila.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Okay.
For
So
the
is
next
there-
meeting?
Uh,
Oh, for the inspection time, I'm sorry, I'm getting
Well,
confused.
I
The
think
next
he's
meeting, too.
ascended to the continuous to March 13th.
March 13th. Thank you again.
At 7:30, Sheila?
No, it's gonna have to be 7, maybe 7:35.
Okay.
ACC, thank you again.
Okay.
So is there a motion?
I make a motion, we continue the public hearing to March 13th at 7:35 PM.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed to vote?
Okay.
All right,
Thank you again.
thank you.
All right, have a good evening,
We'll see you in
appreciate
a
it.
couple weeks.
Yes,
13? That would be-
everything will be hopefully melted up by then, and
Yes,
clear up the
thanks,
ground.
Brian.
You're
2
right.
weeks, 2
Thank you,
weeks.
Brian.
Thank you again.
All right. The next item on our agenda is 7:30, public hearing, ZPT Energy Solutions 2 LLC, notice of intent for construction of a large-scale ground-mounted photovoltaic solar facility at 347 Rochdale Street.
Benvenuti.
Benvenuti.
Oh, I apologize.
That's all right, they're all squeezed in there.
That's
I
all right.
apologize. The next item on our agenda is the 7:25 public hearing, Anthony Benvenuti, notice of intent for the construction of a new home septic system well and associated work at 795 Oxford Street, South in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed to vote. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Had me worried for a second.
I saw the look on your face.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was not a test.
No, thank you. I appreciate
You're welcome.
that. So, anyway, name's Rob Lucier from McClure Engineering. I think this is, been here a couple times for this project. I know we requested a continuance from last meeting because we were waiting on the Board of Health comments, which we ended up receiving them. We made our revisions and we resubmitted to the commission.
Okay.
Just a couple changes that occurred. There was a little, well, besides just adding a few simple notes that the Board of Health was requesting, there was just one discrepancy with the groundwater, which we had to raise estimated high groundwater up slightly, which ended up causing our trenches, now they have to be more shallow, so now they're foot deep instead of 24 inches, so they were 2 feet, which caused our leaching area to be larger. It's still out of the 50-foot buffer, but that was kind of the major change. One thing that we did add, Board of Health requested that we show a footing drain on here, which that now is within the 50-foot buffer zone.
Okay.
We do have erosion control around it. It will just be, it's basically right at where high groundwater is, so it'll just be clean groundwater that leaches in. Some simple revisions.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, members of the board went out to the property a while ago, and when there was no snow on the ground, and had a chance to take a look. Any comments from the board?
No, pretty straightforward.
I think so too. Any comments from the audience? No. Okay. In that case, is there a motion to close?
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote? All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you.
Okay, you weren't forgotten.
Have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
The next item on our agenda is the 7:30 public hearing, ZPT Energy Solutions 2 LLC, a notice of intent for a proposed construction of large-scale ground-mounted photovoltaic solar facility on property located at 347 Rochdale Street in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion?
Good evening.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote? Good evening.
Good evening. How's everybody tonight?
Thanks.
For the record, Paul McLean with CPT Energy. I'm here tonight with Kevin McGarry from Fuss & O'Neill, the design engineer for the project, and Rich Kirby from LDC, related specifically to the NOI application. A little update where we stand on this, advancing this project. We've been in front of planning. We're working through peer review. It's been peer reviewed. We're working through the final edits of the comments. All related to matters up on top of the hill, unrelated really to the resource area in question. We were in front of the Zoning Board of Appeals and got our special use permit approved.
Okay. Very good.
So we really think these guys are here obviously to answer questions. We continued from just a few weeks ago. Site walk's been completed, and we're hoping we can get the hearing closed and get whatever remaining questions answered and go to order of conditions.
Wow, that was quick.
Wish it was that quick, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds easy.
Yeah.
Well, not all of us have had a chance to walk the entire site, and the day we were out there was
Freezing.
very cold.
Icy,
Very
freezing.
icy.
It was-
I went to it later.
So I know we have a couple of new board members. We have Nathan Rand, who has just joined us, and then Tony Romeo, who's not here tonight. What's the consensus, the feeling of the board?
I was hoping to look at it when there was no snow on the ground.
I would like that.
It's going to be a couple months before they get the zoning board. By the time the zoning board decision, it's going to get to March, the third week in March. And there's a 20-day appeal period, so it's going to be mid-April.
Yeah,
So we can get
we're
out there
good.
before
Holding them up.
When the snow's
Yeah, I
gone.
mean, from
I'd like to see
a
it.
process perspective, it's
Yeah.
important for us to get the, both this permit and the zoning board of appeals
Yeah.
permit for the SMART program.
I
So-
get it.
Yeah.
So that, that's,
deadlines
we
on
work
that?
for that
Right.
timeline,
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, we obviously don't want to, jeopardize the system or, make sure that you guys are satisfied. But we really feel this is a, relatively simple exercise. We had thought wholeheartedly that we might have even attempted an RDA on this project, but we thought, well, let's just go NOI, take the high road and open up the site for review.
Yeah.
Would it please the board if we just had another review of the resource area in question and just kind of get everybody's mind fresh on the matter?
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
It's just a matter of
All right.
knowing if the other resources, we haven't, it's a big site. We
yeah,
just looked
right.
at the street.
Something we should
I don't know how to we're supposed to check to see if there's wetlands out there that have been missed. It's sort of,
And they're very wet.
you can
Well,
do it again, but
it is.
it's a
You know,
well
if
done,
I-
well presented, everything seems to be accounted for.
I think we should see it again.
Well, what would,
What's
I
your
mean, what would the
deadline?
commission like to do? Because we, you know, when we were here a few weeks ago, we didn't really mention we were planning to go back out for another look. Not
Well,
that
I think
that's out
we
of the
did it,
question.
when we were
but-
there, we did, absolutely.
Oh, when you were on
Yeah,
site?
with, I forgot the
Andrea.
lady's name, Andrea, yeah. Yeah, we told her we wanted to come out, you know, when the weather was
Now,
better, just to get
you responded to the comments or the peer review that was performed?
certain engineering.
We're about ready to do final submission. Kevin has been working with
Okay.
the peer review over the phone on a lot of the matters, so we expect when our review is actually responded to, we're going to get a letter back that says check, check, check.
I understand that.
So planning board's next meeting is March 12th.
Yeah.
So they,
Is it gonna getting on
day
that
before
one?
us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we continued just last night to the March 12th.
Okay.
And-
Okay.
And Kevin is expecting before the end of the week to have the response in.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's really matters, you know, related to the portions of the project that are outside of the resource, you know, so there are no changes to take place, you know, right at the driveway there.
All right. Well, excuse me, the issue I do have is that, I mean, we have a number of orders of condition to prepare tonight, and I just want to be, I think, very just careful and precise in terms of drafting the order of conditions for this property as well. And so my preference would be, given the fact that you're going before planning on the 12th, and again, if you disagree, that's fine. My preference would be that we continue it one more meeting, and at that point, you know, we would have the final comments or response to Burton's report, and then we'll have the time, I think, to review the plans and then issue, I would assume, close the public hearing and then issue the order of conditions.
Okay.
You know, that's just my preference. I don't speak for anyone else on the board.
No, I understand. I appreciate you be candid about that matter, and listen, we want to have great relations here with the town. So I'm not opposed to doing that. We could continue to the 13th, and then we can, like I said, Kevin will get his response in. You'll be able to have time to review that. If you would like to plan another site walk, then we should get that scheduled, or
we can be in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like that.
So there aren't that many weeks before that next hearing.
No,
Say, I know
Yeah,
March
you
2nd
Yeah.
is a conference
Right.
that Allison's going to,
Correct.
And then
and I won't be
the
around
ninth.
this
ninth.
weekend.
Uh-huh.
I would probably be able to make the following
Which will be
Saturday.
the 9th.
Should be the
Ninth.
9th.
Yeah,
Does
so-
that give enough time?
Oh, yeah.
It might be the 9th.
Yeah, so why don't we plan for a site walk or another site walk on March 9th?
Okay.
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 And we can do that at 9 o'clock.
March
So-
9th.
You obviously speak for Andrew, right?
Yeah, one of us will be there, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's not Andrea. it'll
What's
be-
that distance from one end to the other? How many?
It's pretty good
Roughly.
size.
From where to where?
Well, just from,
Like
if
this
you
here
walk
is
the whole
like
site.
800
Oh.
feet.
Yeah.
So,
Really can't do a lot.
thousands.
Well, I was out there with
It's a big one.
Chairman
It's 45 acres.
Brooks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the guy had the luxury of, you know, escort around in the gator, so that was pretty good.
Oh.
I wish we had those.
Well, maybe
Well,
he's
you can
available
ask
on the
Ron,
Yeah.
that's right across the street.
Yeah.
Mike wants to look at the pool,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, the pool.
Okay.
But, you know,
That's an easy one, though.
I'm not sure how much,
Yeah.
you know, how
And there's
easy
some
it is around
trails,
here.
there are some trails that go through
We've been
the
there.
site too.
Yeah.
I mean,
We don't need to walk the entire project. Obviously, we're
Yeah.
interested in the areas within our jurisdiction, so.
Yeah, there's some good, you know, tracks up there for, you know, both from when the surveying took place, and then I
Yeah.
think there's some natural, you know,
But as far as
trespassing
driving
going
up,
on with
you
the dirt
can't
bikes
drive
and
up
stuff like
unless you've
that.
got some four-wheeler or anything, right?
I was actually out there today because I wanted to make sure I was at the site because this is Andrea's project, but she had a conflict tonight, so I'm here on her behalf. And you could probably get up there. They salted that road pretty good. There's
Yeah.
a lot of salt
But it's all
on the driveway.
wide enough
Yeah.
and dirt that you could...
Yeah, I think you could definitely drive up there. And if you want to get a sense of what the uplands look like, you know, there's a lot of mountain laurel out there. And, you know, there's a couple of trails that we might be able to pop in just to get a flavor for what the uplands are like. But Andrea's been with our firm now for, I think, almost 5 years. And I can tell you she dots every I and crosses every T. So if there were wetlands out there, she would have found them.
Yeah.
Understood. So what time on the 13th, Sheila? 7:45?
Well, no, I think I
No.
kind of had already carried them over for 7:30.
Oh, okay.
So I figured you.
She was protecting our
Yeah.
our spot there.
Yes.
That's fine. And actually, it shouldn't be, the hearing shouldn't take that long anyway, so.
No.
Okay. So is there a motion?
I make a motion that we continue the hearing for 347 Rochdale Street to March 13th at 7:30.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Close the vote. All right, thanks for coming in, appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much.
And we'll see you on the 9th.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Give us another couple of weeks of warming up with the weather.
Oh, exactly.
2 more,
It's
they're saying.
like 5
They're
inches
saying
tonight or
2 more,
something.
Yes, I heard that. Was it snowing when you came in?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Snowing out in Amherst when I went for it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be here by about now.
Just one quick question. Does the commission typically provide draft orders of condition before they issue them? You just issue them?
I just issued.
That's fine.
Usually it's the
Every
next
town's a
day.
little bit different. I just wanted to make sure.
If you're in a hurry, I can do it the next day.
Oh, okay. All right.
You can imagine. No, we do final orders.
Okay.
Okay?
No, that's fine. Thanks
right.
very much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good night.
All
Be
right.
safe getting home.
Good night, you too. Okay.
All right.
Certificates of compliance.
Yes.
Comply with the backup stand just in case.
That's right.
We
Wow.
have some CCs.
So prepare.
All right, so that one's out. So we have the first one, Walter Koza.
Right.
Walter
Koza.
Koza, 47 Stone.
That one I can't find because I wasn't here for the meeting, right?
Right. We would have had to have watched all the.
But you tried
put it
safely.
in one.
Thank you.
I didn't.
Yeah, okay, that's all right.
All right, so we need to do an order of conditions for Mr. Koza.
Correct.
Who's going to be Phineas J. Whoopi tonight?
I'll try it.
All right, Carolyn,
Try it.
don't be shy.
Okay, Stan, I'll try not to correct me. I will,
We will.
okay, thank you. Standard order of conditions plus
Mhm.
1,
Yep,
2,
right.
3.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a copy?
I think
Okay,
okay, yeah.
Application. 5,
Right.
and 6.
No.
No. No riprap, 7. No, okay.
There's no riprap.
No, 8.
Yep.
9.
Yep.
9, okay,
Mhm.
always. 10.
No.
No,
There's no
there's nothing there. Okay.
no endangered species.
Okay, 11,
Right.
okay, and 12,
Right.
and 13.
There's no.
No detention or
no.
retention,
No.
okay, and that's it.
Okay, so
That's it.
standard order plus.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 11, and 12.
Yeah, that was it, okay.
Okay.
All right, good.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain.
Abstentions? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the next one.
All right, do you want
Are we-
to sign the thing?
Are we allowed to issue that when there's only 3 out of 7 of us?
Oh,
Just thought of that.
She's abstained.
I mean, I don't think I saw it or
Right,
listened
right.
to the presentation, but I mean, it looks fine. I don't mind.
This is the one, yeah, this is actually the
Questionable.
one that I didn't go, wasn't able to make the site visit, but you, the rest of you described to me what was going
I
on.
did.
I mean, it's a well-defined channel.
I did.
I had not even considered that.
No, I'm sorry. That's, no, I did
No,
go on this, I did go on this one. I'm thinking of the
Yeah,
second
Stone
one.
Street.
I'm thinking of the next one.
Lester Street.
411 Lester,
Yeah,
right.
you did not go
It
to
was a
Lester
while
Street.
ago, that's
Yeah.
why, because that one was
Chapman's Brook and
delayed
everything.
because they didn't have
Right.
their
You
plans.
went to this one, did you?
Yeah,
It
I
was a
did,
mess.
I did.
It's
It's close to the water.
It is.
It's well defined.
It is, though.
Okay, well,
I'll
wait a
take your
minute.
word for it.
I think we're okay.
Stop.
So,
Well, All right,
I say we're okay.
so you want to change your vote?
I'll change my vote.
Okay, so we need to do it again.
All right, now that one, the
Mhm.
plan hasn't been recorded. What was up with that?
Time out, we're doing
Okay.
one thing at a time here, okay?
Sounds like me.
All right, so,
Uh,
the motion is standard order plus 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 11,
12.
and 12. Is there a second?
I will second that.
Second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I have to abstain, I wasn't involved.
Exactly. Okay, so we, yeah, okay.
It's a vote.
It's a vote.
What are we talking about? This one?
Okay. Now, are we going to say anything extra about
Well,
the
we can't-
plan being recorded, or?
Well, I mean, right now, 47 Stone Street doesn't exist, okay? I mean, you've talked about the Mylar. Obviously, the plan has to be recorded.
Yeah.
The order of conditions can't be recorded until the plan for 47 Stone Street
Okay. So I
gets
can
recorded.
hold off.
Well, why don't we say this? How about, so we're going to have to do this again. How about if we put in a condition that the order of conditions will be recorded within 10 days after the plan for 47 Stone Street is listed as registered land in the Worcester County Registry of Deeds, because it is registered land, not recorded land. Or is entered as registered in the registry at the Worcester County Registry of Deeds.
Okay, that's what you looked into, you said that.
All right, so third time is the charm.
I'm going to make a
Okay.
motion that we accept the standard order plus all those discussed with the amended condition that the chairperson just
There we go.
mentioned
Okay,
For 47.
for 47 years.
okay.
Amended so that it can be recorded 10 days after?
It will be recorded within 10 days
Okay.
after the plan for
Recorded.
47 Stone Street
Okay.
is,
Recorded.
well, it's, it's actually entered into a book. It's not a strict recording. It's done a little differently. There's actually almost like a ledger book, but it's entered differently. So is listed is listed as registered land in the Worcester County Registry of Deeds.
Yep, registry of deeds, okay.
Okay?
Is that still accessible
I
online?
got it.
Yeah.
It is.
You just have to make sure you click the right,
I'll put the right things on
the
there.
right link.
Just go which way, so
I
it's
just have a question. So this
For some
work
reason,
goes like
Google
this.
Chrome, they have the
Property
worst
license.
time on mass land records,
Yeah.
trying to
What do
pull
you
anything
think
up
is
with
wetland
Google.
language? Up
Yeah,
like
if I use
that?
Internet
No.
Explorer, it prints out fine, but
Really?
with Google
The channel-
Chrome, it's a mess. It's
Masslandrecords.com.
masslandrecords.com, and you can do a search of property by book
The
title,
channel that we saw though.
book number,
is,
page number, by, then, yeah, it's just masslandrecords.com.
Okay,
It's a public
okay.
record.
Oh, one word.
It's
Okay,
awesome.
okay.
It's great when you want to find
I haven't
out.
been in
It
there.
actually runs
Property or
alongside the
land or
property.
anything.
All one word, mass,
Massland records.
mass, M-A-S-S.
It goes by county.
Ongoing.
I do.
All right.
Right,
So
it
here is
actually-
the,
It
check
runs
it out.
actually parallel to the property.
You would think the wetland.
That's the one,
Yeah,
That's a great signature
but
right
it's
there.
also,
That's gonna be
Yeah.
worth a lot of money
I
someday.
thought that was somebody else's.
actually.
we looked at my eye
below
doctor's one the other
grade
day, he
for
said,
the
that's
property.
count, that's not as bad as our primary care.
Correct, it goes underneath the street.
Yeah, that's pretty
Some of them
good.
are next,
Some of
sometimes.
them just a.
It's just a, yeah. All right.
Okay. All right, so for Scribner Development, is there a motion?
I make a motion that we issue a standard order, plus numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, there is rep 7, 8, 9, 11, 13.
How about 12? Well, there's no wetland.
Yeah, there's no
restoration
restoration.
and mitigating
So
conditions.
we're okay.
Yep, 11 and 13.
Okay.
And that's it.
Good,
All right, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13, is that correct? I did that.
There's Scribner.
All right. That's not bad either.
Huh?
Okay. So the next two
I had to teach
continue.
it, so it had to be somewhat
Benvenuti.
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 Oh, Tony.
That was opposed.
Okay.
All right, is there a motion for 795 Oxford Street South?
Yeah.
You want to do this? Allison, you want to do this one?
Sure, give it a
795,
795.
Benvenuti,
Allison, give it a try.
This one will be 4 marks on the wall.
795.
You got it?
Oh, yeah, I like this.
Excellent.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Do you
I'm-
need one of these sheets?
No, I have it.
Oh, okay.
I make a motion that we order a standard order for Anthony Benvenuti at 795 Oxford Street for number 2, no,
How about one?
1,
One always gets it.
1,
Yeah.
Mhm.
2.
2,
3,
Yep.
3,
not 4, 5.
Mhm.
What number was the riprap involved?
I don't think so.
8.
No.
No.
8, 9,
9.
11, 12. I think that's it.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
second that.
Is there any discussion?
Could we just repeat that, please, just to be sure?
1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 11, and 12.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, that's great.
Was there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Second
Oh, I
that.
think Tom had seconded.
Oh,
but
I'm
that's
sorry, go
okay.
ahead. That's
Okay. Is there any discussion?
Mhm.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Good.
Okay. It's a vote. And we also have to do the certificates of compliance.
Yes, we have got 4 of them all together. 1, 2, 3, and then the partial release.
Isn't that 3?
Well,
Yeah,
this
that's three.
22, 24 is one, 26, 28 is another,
Right,
130
30
Prospect
Oh, and
Street,
then
So they're
Brook
at
Street.
3.
and then Brook
They're at
Street.
3.
Okay.
But I was going to abstain with Whitman Bailey, right? Is that the one
Okay. Good.
Oh, you
Patrice.
get 2.
So is that gonna work out? Are we
Oh.
gonna have a quorum here?
Certificate of compliance, you
For
still
those?
need that too?
Oh,
I think you do.
well, I think so, yeah.
And I was there, I saw them.
You,
Oh,
what-
you did?
there were 4 of us there.
Oh, okay. All
Right,
right.
Mike, you, and I stayed in the grass.
Yes, because you were smart.
I went down the side of the building, but we were all
Nobody
right.
went down.
I think,
A little slippery, but
I think Nathan can sign it. All right, so we're good on those. We approve those.
All right,
do
so
that.
it's 22, all right. So someone's gonna vote to do that, to approve it?
What are we doing?
Issue the
Yes.
certificate of compliance?
Is,
I make a motion that we issue certificates of compliance for 22 to 24.
I thought, no,
I
we
think
already did this.
Yeah, I did.
This sounds like deja
Did
vu.
it?
I said respectively at the end of it.
Yes, you did.
Did we
You
do,
covered your butt.
did we do Brook Street too?
We did.
Okay, then we're all set. All we have to do is sign the certificates.
We did Brook Street
All
too?
We did. We
Yeah,
actually,
Okay, all right, I'm sorry, I do have.
Mid-meeting.
So
So what
you
about 130
abstained on
Prospect?
130
Yeah, I
Prospect
abstained on
Street.
Yeah, I don't think I saw either of those.
So we're okay, okay.
All right,
So what do we do?
and
Just leave it,
you
right?
abstained.
What do we did?
That's the one
That
we're
was
gonna
all
add
in
that
favor.
notation.
So it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
that
yeah,
one you
okay,
abstained
okay.
in?
Yeah, just the
Just
certificate
the
of
130?
Yep.
Okay. Certificate of
We're good.
compliance, okay. Oh, I guess Nathan
yeah, I
can
can
sign
sign
that
this
too.
one.
Yeah, as far as that swimming pool at 7 Bridle Path, it's pretty, you could park a car there and in about a minute, walk down there, take a look. It's-
Yeah, I'm
it's,
sure.
And it's right up, that tree line is right down where those 4 houses, so like where the shed was behind that one in the
Right.
summer, it's right there.
And it's unreasonable to move
Do-
it.
It's, well, it's very flat. Where this is like probably, the topo might show a foot or 2, but it's really
I mean,
flat.
It's right.
It's relatively insignificant, but it's really just about changing the impervious area in the 25-foot
zone.
Yeah.
So if he could
Putting
have,
sand down.
if he could have moved it out of the 25-foot zone, it just would save that much.
My only question is on those, do we dictate where they can do the backwash and of just throwing the filtered water into the...
We haven't.
That's right.
You think when he backwashes,
If he's going to put the hose, you're not going to put it away from the house, obviously you're going to put it towards the
you
back.
think it's going to go in the brook? Probably.
I would assume so.
So you're adding chlorinated water to the wetland, which is probably not a good thing.
People are already complaining about the town water tasting like chlorine.
The town water tastes so bad.
People are
Yeah.
back
Some- I don't
Mine
know.
Well,
tastes
no,
like
but
a
you know
hose.
what? That's a really
fine.
good point. No one has ever raised that point before.
Never.
Why
No,
don't
you're
we
so-
right.
do something about that?
Yeah, but you're in the Auburn
Especially
Water
where they're
District.
above ground.
To answer your question, I think we
Common
can.
practice.
I think we can. I mean, we haven't acted on the request yet. We're going to take a look, and it's been continued to our March 13th hearing. So
Wow.
I think we can bring it up.
Glad you're on board, man.
Have you had a problem,
Really?
Mike, with your water?
I don't drink Auburn water.
We don't either.
Like,
We have
make
all
coffee
bottles,
with
but
it.
Why don't we do something about it?
I don't even make coffee.
We all just like are okay with the fact that it tastes like garbage?
Well, unfortunately, I'm stuck on Worcester water, so
Yeah.
And my dog doesn't even
I'm on
drink
that
it.
side of town.
I remember when they
Worcester
started
water.
chlorinating
Yeah.
Worcester water in
Well,
the
what can I
mid-80s, I
say?
think it was. And it was
We
like,
do, we buy
It
it.
doesn't taste like chlorine, it
You're
literally
right, we don't
tastes
drink
like
Auburn water at all.
So-
garbage.
it's very hard water. I mean, you're gonna find that out. The
You're not
plumber
gonna
in your
say this,
house,
right?
Yeah.
We just had
you'll
a-
be replacing
we
your
just had a
faucet
valve replaced.
within 5 years,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. A valve
I've already
replaced.
gone through 2.
And he showed us on the
I
water.
mean, it's hard water, and I mean, you know, I replaced my, let's see, what have I replaced? The faucet to my in my kitchen. I've replaced my garbage disposal, and I replaced the shower nozzle in my shower. So
Pretty much ditto. We just had a valve on the hot water heater replaced because it was starting
Have
to
your
drip.
plumber purchase it at a plumbing supply place in Auburn. I'm not gonna mention any names. And they'll give you,
WFW I'll mention.
certain brands will give you a lifetime warranty. When you have the receipt, when it's time,
this is Brook
they will
Street.
give you a brand new faucet.
FW
Who's
Web.
that?
I did not say that.
I did, I said, FW Web gave us a brand new
Brand new one.
European,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
$700, the whole thing.
The whole thing. It's
Oh,
lifetime
yeah.
guarantee. You just save your receipt and you
They
say,
said it
oh,
was
hard
just,
water.
it was just the water, it was
Oh,
just
my
the.
God.
Pays for itself for life.
So,
Here's the
let me
names
ask
on
you
the back.
something.
You're busy.
How are you gonna word the partial certificate of compliance for 23 Brook Street?
It's gonna be from that letter,
Using this, yeah.
using that letter.
Yeah, I thought
as a
I'd
reference.
use,
gonna make reference
using
to-
the DEP file number and then using
The book
the
and
new
page?
plan.
Well, you're gonna, all right, I'm just trying to figure out how you're gonna
Yeah.
do it. Are you gonna attach these, or are you gonna, I think what you could do is you could attach the plan,
Yeah,
and I think you can make reference to it, to the book and page number.
that they recorded it with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was gonna put that right in here.
Okay, all right, good.
Okay?
I mean, once 23 Brook Street has been partially closed, you can...
They're gonna refile with us
They're gonna
anyway.
redo it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
so they're coming, they need to close it out in order to
Yeah.
reopen, basically. And just so we're clear on this, there was no work done on that property,
Right.
Right.
right? So make
Nothing.
sure you check off
Oh,
that
yes,
box.
talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Oh, okay.
That's why
Yeah.
we didn't need to go see it.
All right, no work, okay.
yeah. Remember, you know, it's sort of
Yeah.
counterintuitive. How can
Yeah.
you comply when you haven't done the work, but,
Right.
all right. Is there any other business?
There is, I just want to make one other mention regarding 7 Bridle Path.
Okay,
Now, according to what Mr. Kowalski submitted to us on this waiver,
Mhm.
minor activities under section 1053 are exempt from the requirement of the $500 waiver filing fee. Projects which may qualify for reduction in fee include work where the land within 25 feet, already lawfully paved or already occupied by a structure, which it's not, it's not paved, right now it's just grass.
There's a shed
But
there, right?
it's 17 feet from the, 17 feet from the wetland flags.
no,
So if he
I
were,
think he needs a waiver, and I think if he needs a waiver, he needs to file a notice of intent.
right,
So, but I'm just saying to you, I think we'll have to take a look.
Mhm.
You know, I thought the same thing. I think if the
'Cause-
work is done within 25 feet, he needs a waiver. And the
Yeah.
only way you get a waiver from the regs is to file a notice of intent.
if like Allison said, if he were to move it further away
Yeah.
than 25 feet,
Yeah,
he
then we
wouldn't
give
have
him a
to.
negative
And he also
determination.
wouldn't have to pay a $500
Right.
waiver fee.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You think, well, you went onto the property, is there room for him to do that?
That's what he was
Move it 8
saying.
feet?
It's-
He doesn't want it to be so close.
No,
to the
it's
house.
17 feet from me to the wall. I mean, it's,
You have to have a
It's
certain
kind of
distance
centered.
from the house also.
yeah, I don't know what the, right, I don't know what the
10
reg
feet,
is.
I
I think it's
Is it 10 feet?
10 feet from the house.
Even with a deck, yeah, when
How
you
many
see a
is it?
deck on, that's sometimes built on, yeah.
Well, we'll go out there and we will kick it around.
We're talking about 86, right?
We're talking
Yeah,
about...
So-
7 by
So if it was
10.
10 feet from the house, it would still be 24 feet
Yeah, okay.
from the thing, it would still fall within the 25, so.
I mean, that's
Well,
kind of de
24
minimis,
feet,
you
yeah.
But,
know?
De minimis?
Yeah, but
Yeah, de
who-
minimis.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a
24
legal
feet.
term.
I like that.
Um,
Illegal, there we go.
Well, but you know, I think 1 foot is different from 8 feet,
Yeah.
clearly, so...
And even 2 feet, I mean, just make I just always want them just to make the effort as best, they come in and they're like, oh, well, it's in the thing and there's a little bit here, blah, blah. It's like, well, just fix
Just
it.
make it a 25.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Well,
This way.
Why can't
Come
it be
on.
close?
people want what they want,
I know.
so... All right, if there's no...
I just want to say, I did get a call from Megan Selby.
Oh, I was
Right
gonna ask you
when I
about
was
that.
leaving work, and she just wanted to let me know that they were supposed to be getting together, I think the 26th of the 27th. She
February?
was supposed, yes.
Okay, like
That was-
yesterday or today?
Yeah, yeah, I guess it was.
And did she go out?
I did not hear from her yet.
Okay. I'll follow up with an email to her. And this is for
498 Rochdale.
Street.
Yeah, yeah. Conflict of interest training, that's reminded everybody,
Yep.
so.
Get it
So-
done, print it out.
So Nathan, have you been told about the conflict of interest training? You do
I
it
had to do
online?
it before I was appointed.
Okay,
Yeah. to do it.
So I already did it.
outstanding.
They
All right.
beat me. I still haven't done it.
Do I do it? We all need to do it?
We do.
Yeah.
You have to do it every 2 years, I believe.
So then I don't have
About 2 years ago.
I think I did it
Huh?
last year,
I
thinking
don't have, am I been here 2 years?
I did it.
No, you have
No.
to do it. Have you done it yet?
I
I've done it
would have
twice.
had to
Wow.
have done it before
Yeah.
when I
cheated.
started.
Yeah, I had to show it before I
Well, I
started
think when
swearing
they,
in, so
when it's
I
time to
need
do
to
it
do it.
again, you have to
if
do
they
it. whether
don't,
you-
if you don't do it, someone's gonna come to your door late at night.
Would they have emailed me?
No, of course not.
No, they won't tell you.
No.
I'll
You
just do
you
it.
expect to be notified? Come
No,
on.
no, they won't tell you. They'll just tell you when you're.
You know what? It's not bad.
If you've
Yeah.
done it before, you don't have to watch all the videos. You can just
Right.
Yeah, you
answer the
skip right over
questions.
it.
Yeah, just go somewhere where there's no one to bother you.
Okay, so,
Okay.
is someone going to motion to?
Make a
Well,
motion.
I was going to, and then you stopped me.
I'll let you.
Oh, no.
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
That was quick. Is
I'll
there a
second it.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, great. I don't know if it's snowing out there. I hope.